came out?
Yes. Yes.
It's like if Eminem had Kamikaze made before he put like Revival out.
Yeah.
That's kind of how. That's like kind of how like that sounded. Like, bruh, what?
Except for the fact that Eminem also did say, like, yeah, Revival was shit.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
Yeah.
you're right. It was a bad album. Like,
But yeah, no. So Disney knows that people are not gonna like the show, but yet they put it out though anyway.
bro, no, they give these actors and actresses like a list of things that are going to happen because Moses Ingram said that Kathleen Kennedy straight up told her you're going to get racist backlash. No, you're going to get backlash because your character sucks when it's in an Obi-Wan Kenobi television show which never should have been fucking made. That show is so not canon to me that we couldn't even think of it last week when trying to name out all the Star Wars shows.
Your mom had to actually text you.
We forgot about Kenobi because it does not live in my brain. That thing is the most uncanon shit they have ever made.
I have forgotten about that show. I just know that he loses the Force for like a couple of episodes. That's it.
He loses the
That's
Force
it.
for like 5 out of the 6 episodes.
Nah, he has it back at the end of like episode 3 because he fights Vader. Remember?
No, he doesn't. He loses. He pulls his lightsaber out, and Vader literally rakes him through coals. And then he gets saved by a girl and runs away, and then cries for another 3 episodes.
And then has one semi-cool fight at the end of the show.
Not even, though, because it makes no sense. Because Anakin literally has to tell him, or Vader literally has to tell him, like, you didn't fail me. I killed Anakin Skywalker. I'm telling you, bro, no redemption here. There's no redemption here.
Uh-huh.
And Obi-Wan's like, and then just runs away and leaves Vader. Like, dude, like, no. There's nothing cool about that show. He just cries and runs away when Vader's literally like, dude, just in case there's any thought in your mind that you can bring me back to the light side, nope. Ditch that shit. That's not happening. In fact, I'm probably going to go and kill a lot of people on my Star Destroyer after this just because I'm pissed off. No redemption, bro. Anakin's dead. I'm not Anakin. I'm Darth Vader. You literally did not fail me. I said fuck you, and I left. By my own will, killed my former self, and I'm now evil. And I'm loving it. I just want to kill you. Because you're the last part of my old life still around. And you burned me. That sucked. But Obi-Wan can't even kill him there. Obi-Wan's just like, nope.
Also, now that I think about it, it messes up A New Hope. Because
now that you think about it, bro, that entire show is a fuck you to
I haven't thought of... Okay, no, listen. I have not thought about the Kenobi show. That's like literally why. But like now that like we're talking about it, dude, when Vader says to like Obi-Wan, when I left you, I was but the student, but now I am the master. See, that makes you think that they hadn't interacted since the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Because they hadn't, and they still haven't. This show is not canon. And freaking Kathleen Kennedy being like, it's going to be the rematch of the century. In what way? We know they both live.
Right, yeah.
You couldn't even come up with a way to make it a draw where Vader thinks he killed Kenobi. You just have Kenobi cry and run away. Like, there was nothing you could do. You couldn't even come up with anything.
And also, how's he go from being like a stupid hermit to like going back to being cool old sage Ben? How's that happen?
Oh, because Qui-Gon appears at the end of it, and he's like,
forgot about that. forgot about that.
Even though Qui-Gon never finished his training on how to become a Force ghost and could only manifest his voice.
So
Hence
that
why,
end
hence
scene
why there's
isn't
only
canon
two
either.
Jedi. Hence why there's only 2 Jedi that could do it, and it was Yoda and Obi-Wan, because they meditated and Qui-Gon's voice came to them from the netherworld of the Force and taught them how to do it.
So then how did Anakin do it?
Because it's explained in the Return of the Jedi book, and it's also explained in the EU, that right as Vader died, Obi-Wan comes to him and goes, "You got to do exactly what I tell you right now. No time for questions, because if you ask a single question, you will cease to exist forever." And Obi-Wan explains to him how to do it as he's dying.
Oh, okay.
But he's like, that's literally your only option right now. Either you cease to exist forever, or you listen to me right now as we're speaking. Listen to me now, because if you don't, you're going to disappear in 0.2 seconds.
Oh, okay. So the end of Kenobi where he sees Qui-Gon shouldn't happen then?
Not at all. It's also why Qui-Gon doesn't sit up next to freaking Yoda and Obi-Wan at the end of Return of the Jedi. And they're that's why he never also appears to Luke and is like, by the way, I trained Obi-Wan.
None of the show's canon.
No, dude, it's not. It's just shit. It's terrible. Disney Star Wars is fan fiction.
Dude, why did they make Obi-Wan a hermit? That's so stupid, bro. Obi-Wan would not abandon his mission because he was sad about Anakin. That literally does not make any sense.
No.
That doesn't make because he had a motivation to protect Luke. That was his whole goal. So if Vader shows up on Tatooine and he doesn't have his Force powers, how is he going to stop him?
Or even worse, if Palpatine.
Right.
And Vader show up.
Right. How would he stop it if he don't have his Force powers?
Dude, what would he do if some random tax dudes showed up and they were like, "You didn't pay your taxes. We're taking your kid." From the Hutt clans or something. There's literally so many things. What would he do if a freaking angry little freaking Sebulba shows back up and he's like, "You're related to that kid who beat me in pod racing." Bro, Obi-Wan still would not be able to fucking do anything.
Watto's like, "I want Luke as a slave."
Obi-Wan's like, "Shit. Fuck, I didn't think this through. I'm sad. Can you wait a couple weeks until I'm not sad anymore? So I can fight you and protect this kid?" Shit is so stupid.
I mean, Jedi gets sad, but how did he lose his powers? That's so dumb. I didn't know Jedi could lose their powers.
Oh, they actually have a line in this episode of The Acolyte where they say that. They're like, "Oh yeah, well, if you're not testing your powers, then you'll lose them. That's why you have to give into the dark side, because if you do, then you'll just become more powerful. But if you stop being a Jedi, then the Force disappears." Which makes zero sense, because then every single child who is not brought to the temple by the age of 3 or 4 would no longer have the Force.
I got a bot in my Twitch chat. But yeah, no, dude. So the Force can disappear now. That's, oh my god. That's
what do you think happened to Luke on Octu?
He still had his powers, bro. He still had his powers. He still had the Force.
Not really, dude. Not really. Barely.
Does he not have it by the end of the
He literally says he left and went to that planet to shut himself off from the Force.
Yeah.
He says that.
Dang, bro.
Because he failed and tried to kill his nephew. Because he had a bad dream that his nephew might turn out evil. So he tried to kill him.
And then
the guy who
Snoke
brought
was
his father, the guy who literally brought the second baddest man in the galaxy back to the light side was like, well, I had a bad dream about my nephew, and he's kind of an asshole in that dream, so I'm just going to kill him now.
And then Snoke was talking to Kylo and making voices in his head, but Snoke wasn't Snoke. Snoke was Palpatine. Snoke was Palpatine.
Yeah, because you know when Palpatine gets thrown down the shaft in the Death Star and that blue smoke comes up? Yeah, well, that's him now transferring his essence to a planet that he never mentions to Vader, even though Vader's been there now in the comics. Like, you didn't think Vader would be like, yo, by the way, when we killed this guy, he actually has like 200 different cloned bodies that he might be able to transfer into. You might want to know about that. Shit is so stupid. I fucking hate Star Wars. Why are we in this timeline?
Why did we get put into this timeline?
Dude,
like
I'm telling you, like somebody did some dark magic in like 2014, and like that's when all of television just became shit. It's like when
someone was just like, we have it good, let's make it be bad. Like,
bro, it was around 2016. It was like everything around 2016 just boom. Like Marvel started to suck, Game of Thrones started to suck, freaking DC movies sucked, Star Wars sucked, Pirates of the Caribbean was like forgotten about. Like, come on.
At least The Hobbit was fine. At least The Hobbit movies were fine.
It wasn't though. Like, it was the best of the worst.